In this Grow Castle gold build guide, we will go through the principles on how to create a gold build, so you can then adjust this to your build, no matter which elemental build you are using. So after watching, you will know what units you need to add or don't need to add to your build, so that you can turn your own build into a proper gold build. I will divide this video into 4 sections: the early game, the mid game, the late game, and useful information I think everyone should know. And whenever we move down from one step to another, all the previous instructions will always apply, so make sure to watch it from beginning to the end to get the proper full knowledge on how the gold builds work. Let's begin with the early game section. Now, the layout looks like this. There's a lot of empty spaces, and the idea is that you will fill these spaces with your units from your current build. Whenever you are making a gold build, you have to sacrifice some units to make room for the gold units, and you don't want to sacrifice your damage dealers, you don't want to sacrifice your pure wizard, you don't want to sacrifice your necromancer or your chrono. So you mainly want to sacrifice your crowd control units or healers to make room for the gold boosting units. But these are the units that will be interesting for you from early game to late game, but you will get access to this from the very beginning of the game, almost from the very beginning of the game. The first of all, we have 3 heroes in here, and I have placed one of the units in the 13th hero slot in here, because when you are using a gold build, having the 13th hero slots is going to be an incredible help for you. So if you plan on buying it, it will be helping you so much in your gold builds, especially because you need to fit these 3 heroes in your build, and having one extra slot does help with that a lot. If you don't have that one, then you have to figure out who you can drop that you can still be able to beat the waves. So the 3 heroes we have in here are, first of all, Orc Band. You will unlock this guy from the Orc Colony world, and it doesn't become accessible to you in very early game, but it will become available rather soon, so that's why it's included in the early game section. Orc Band gives you more monsters whenever you fight a wave, so it makes the wave a little bit harder. Plus, so more monsters means you will be getting more gold from the monsters, so that's beneficial when you are running a gold build, because your main goal is to get more gold. The second one in here we have is the Military Band. This guy you will unlock from the beginning of the game. This is going to be the first gold hero that you unlock. At max level, which will be 21 in the early game, he will give you plus 40% gold. There's no need to promote this guy. The promotion doesn't really help you, doesn't do anything worthwhile, so it's just easier to just leave him to his base promotion and reap the benefits of the 40% bonus gold, which is huge. You definitely won't want to miss this guy. And our third one is the Alchemist with the Frog Prince promotion, so that he will turn enemies into frogs, and depending on how many frogs you have on the field, you will get 5% extra gold per frog. You will want to get cooldown items for this guy, because if you have enough cooldown items, you will be able to have multiple procs of frogs on the field at the same time eventually, and that means just more gold for you. But early game you won't be having access to any items, so you will just be getting whatever you can from this guy, but he is the third important gold hero for this build that you want to run from your early game whenever you're using gold build. In early game, when you use a gold build, you will mainly use it in very early game. You can use it like in your first 1000 waves, you can use it to make profit from using gold Autobattle. But after that, you should be using free Autobattle and not gold Autobattle, because it's not going to be profitable for you until you reach mid game, which will be like 500,000 to 1 million waves. So during that time frame, you should be using free Autobattle with Wordless Coin instead. But when you use a gold build, if you want to spend your time Autobattle hours, you should use a gold build. Or if you want to do manual for some reason in early game, then you can use a gold build as well to get bigger ads if you want to farm ads for extra gold. But these heroes you definitely want to include. In the tower section, there's just 2 towers. The trophy will give you the same bonus gold as Military Band Male, so definitely something you don't want to miss in your gold build. And also the Golden Tree, which is not exactly going to be boosting your gold income from the wave, it's just going to give you a little bit of extra gold every now and then when you battle waves. And this works in both gold Autobattle and free Autobattle, so you should always include Gold Tree in every wave build you have. But yes, there's no reason to drop it from the gold build. You definitely want to increase your gold income from the Golden Tree as well. In the castle part section, we have just the gold castle. This gives you plus 10% gold. It's kind of an obvious choice for a gold build. So just level this up to level 99, which is the max, and then you will get the plus 10% extra gold, which you definitely want to have in your gold build. There is the leader, Tony, who does have a gold steal ability, so whenever he does damage, he steals a little bit of gold for you. However, Tony is extremely weak, slow walking melee unit, which means he won't be doing a whole lot of damage no matter how much you level him, and just leveling him up for the purposes of increasing your gold gain is not gonna be worth it. It's not gonna be worth the gold investment to increase his damage so that you could get more gold from using him. So he should not be used for the gold steal purposes, he should not be leveled for the gold steal purposes for your gold build. You wanna use him if you need to increase temporarily your maximum crystal capacity. That's why you want to level Tony, but that's the only reason in early game that you want to use or level Tony. He should not be used in your gold build. When we then go take a look at the treasures. Now in here there are a couple of treasures that becomes available for you in your very early game, and the first one will be bronze piece. It will be the first gold treasure that you will unlock, and you will use this in the very early game when you use a gold build. The next one will be gold bar, which is just a stronger version of the bronze piece. And also the next one will be the golden heart, which is also better than the bronze piece, but also the most expensive out of these three. However, all of these will be available for you rather early in the game. In your first 1000 wave, definitely all of these will be available. You have one extra slot in here, and it really depends what you are doing, what you want to use in here. Using the old coin is bad idea. It's not worth it. The amount of extra gold that you get is extremely small. It just won't make any sense to use your treasure slot for this. And the same goes for gold per hit items and gold per hit runes that you can get from dungeons. They are just not worth the investment. The amount of extra gold you get from gold per hit is extremely small, and it's not worth like sacrificing your damage or sacrificing your otherwise useful items for a small fraction of extra gold. It's just not going to be worth it. If you can, you should be using the devil horn in here. In early game, you should be using the devil horn +1. In later game, you can use the higher levels, and you want to use the higher levels when you reach in your 500,000 to 1 million wave, when you want to reach the profitable gold Autobattle build, which is the mid-game section. We will go through that in a moment. You want to use the higher levels in here, and eventually, of course, you want to use the highest level if you can. That's late game, but in early game you want to use the +1. If you cannot use the devil horn, if you cannot win the devil horn in your early game, then the options that you can use in here would be, for example, the sharp arrow. The sharp arrow boosts your critical chance, which is beneficial to your gold build. Why? Because the golden heart gives you extra gold when the enemy dies on a critical hit. So if you boost your crit chance, you have better chance that the enemies will die on critical hit, and that just gives you the extra 15% bonus gold from that kill. So you can boost that by using the sharp arrow, for example. Other options are, well, if you're using time auto battle, then you can use the horn. And also when you're using time auto battle, you can also use the wordless coin, which in time auto battle gives you +15% bonus gold. So this is also, it works for the free auto battle, but it's also a gold treasure. So when you use time mode, you can replace the bronze piece with the wordless coin, because the bronze piece was 13% bonus gold, and the free auto battle, the wordless coin gives you 15%. That's a small, it's not that much, but it's free gold if you're using, but it only works for time auto battle. This doesn't work for gold auto battle, so in that case you cannot use this treasure. Of course, one option would be just to use this when you're using time auto battle, but however, getting the faster waves when you're using time auto battle is more beneficial for you than using just the maximum amount of gold treasures in here. So in that case you would run this, but if you can, you should try to run this setup instead in here. So for example, your early game gold build for the Lightning Taunatsu setup could look something like this. So there's a couple of heroes that has been dropped in favor of getting the gold heroes in, and also the 13th hero slot is in use. If you do not have the 13th hero slot, then you can try removing Smith or Ice Wizard, for example, from the build, but that will be harder to run, so depending if you can do it or can't, that's something you have to try for yourself. And then we move on to the mid game. Now mid-game is something when you can start thinking about using a profitable gold auto battle again. Again, when you start after you like first 1000 waves, all the way to like 500,000 waves or more, even to 1 million waves, you should be using free auto battle. But once you reach those certain levels and you get these certain things, then you can start thinking about using a profitable gold auto battle build. When you use the treasures for your gold auto battle build, you will need the devil horn, and you should aim to use the devil horn +3 in that case in your mid game for your gold auto battle build. +2 can be profitable as well, so if you want to use that, that's an option, but +3 should be what you should be aiming for. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be requiring a lot of farming, a lot of good items, but this is something when you reach those wave levels, 500,000 to 1 million or even a little bit more, it really depends on your items, how much you farm, then that is your goal to be able to run a profitable gold auto battle build, meaning you get more gold from the wave than the actual cost for starting the auto battle is. The heroes are basically the same, towers are the same, the castle part is the same, the treasures are the same. The difference will be that you have small things that you can gain extra gold from at this point. So 2 of those things are the bonus gold skill level +1 orb and bonus gold skill level +1 rune. You can apply both of those in your build, and using them will give you 2 levels for your bonus gold skill. So this will become 55% increased bonus gold instead of 50%. So that's a 5% more gold, essentially for free. In here, for example, I have set the bonus gold orb for my orc band. So once you can level the orc band or any of these support heroes to level 10,000 with crystals, then you can use a green orb on these units. So that's only available if your hero is level 10,000 or more, then you can use orb. And at the point you can use the bonus gold skill level on orc band, who doesn't need anything else anyway. So that's a fair, easy choice for that orb. And then, for example, I have the bonus gold skill level +1 rune placed in here on military band male's item. At this point, if you get lucky with E items that have a bonus gold skill level +1 line, you can also apply those into your build. For example, for the military band male or anyone who doesn't need real like damage lines or anything, you can use either cooldown skill level lines or bonus gold skill level lines. So you could very well use those if you get lucky. But at this point of the game, if you're in the mid game, you don't really have access to a whole lot of E items yet. So chances are you might not have any. But any E line will give you another 2.5% increased gold for this skill. So if you can stack them, that of course means you can make a little bit more profit. So that's also an option. There is the hero Rogue that can also be used in a gold build. So he's basically a gold hero as well, the 4th gold hero for this build. Once he reaches level 10,000, he can use static orb, which means he will forever deal percentual damage to the enemies, which means you don't have to level him, but he will still be able to do damage no matter how high your wave level is. So he will be as useful on a wave level 1 million as he would be on wave level 10 million without leveling him up further than level 10,000 because of this orb. Because based on the damage he deals, he will steal a little bit of gold. However, Rogue is, in my book, is a minor gold boosting hero. Sure, he boosts your gold income, but I wouldn't really stress about it because, first of all, you probably won't have room for 4 heroes. The more gold heroes you have, the harder the build is to run, and you should not feel bad if you can't run Rogue. That's gonna be fine. As long as you can include these 3, it's gonna be fine. It's an option if you are way too overpowered anyway and you wanna just maximize your gold income, but it's not something you should really stress about if you can't beat the waves with Rogue in your build. Then there's a couple of things in the skill tree that we want to concentrate on at this point. First of all, as you progress towards the outer circle, you will be gaining these 1% increased bonus gold nodes. Basically passively as you move from one tree branch to another, so you kind of get a little bit of extra gold for free when you're doing that. So those will help you with your gold build. So eventually you will want to have all of them, but that will take a long time. That's not an early game stuff, that's not the mid game stuff, that's end game stuff to have the full circle. But any 1% helps. Another important thing in here is this 10% more monsters node that is available in the summon tree section. So once you start to reach that mid game level, when you start thinking about a profitable gold auto battle build, you will want to have this, because this is essentially the same thing as Orc Band. It gives you more monsters, and more monsters give you more gold. So whenever you want to run a gold build, you want to have this one as well. This is an important note that you should not skip when you want to reach a profitable gold auto battle build in your mid and in your late game. Of course, whenever you can get this and whenever you run time auto battle, it also means more gold for you anyway, so you just don't want to skip this one. One thing you have to avoid is that you do not pick these 15% decreased bonus gold nodes that are located in the middle of the skill tree. These will reduce the amount of gold that you get. So if you pick these, you're kind of shooting yourself in the leg. You're getting less gold from your waves, and you don't want to do that when you're using a gold build or when you're using your time auto battle build. You want to maximize your gold income, not cripple it. So make sure to not pick these nodes in here. Those are the most important things we have in the skill tree. If you run rogue, then in the poison tree there are a couple of things that will boost rogue, but again, rogue is the minor gold boost hero, so again, don't stress these points. But if you really have too many skill points, you don't know what to do with them and you run rogue, then you can pick these ones as well. But the other points that we just went through are more important than this section over here. Let's move on to the late game. Now, when we talk about late game, that's going to be your Devil Horn +4 or Devil Horn +5 with Gold Auto Battle, so the two highest levels, and the two main things that becomes available for you from the Expert Dungeon are the bonus gold rune and the own bonus gold rune. Now, the bonus gold rune is an easy one. It will give you a flat amount of bonus gold, so that's just an easy increase. The maximum you can get is 5%. So just put this in your build once you can get access to this. Both of these drops from the Expert Dungeon, and farming the Expert Dungeon is not something that's available in early game. It's more of a late game stuff. If you open boxes for runes and you happen to get lucky with the bonus gold rune, then you can of course use it in your build earlier on, but for farming wise that will be available for you in later game. Now, own bonus gold, for example, I will show my current way build in here. Own bonus gold is something that will give you extra gold from the monsters when they are killed by the unit who has this rune. You can use multiple of the same rune on a one hero as well. So for example, I have this on my goblin here, for example. You want to have this rune on someone who deals a lot of damage to like normal monster, someone who kills a lot of monsters, so that you can get more gold from those monsters. So that's why I have one rune in here on my goblin, for example, and I have one rune also on my windy, because both of them deal a lot of damage to normal monsters. They clear out a lot of normal monsters, so in return they give me a little bit of extra gold. This is a bonus thing, so if you have room for these, it's nice. If you don't, then just get the bonus gold rune for the military band forest that I just showed you. So these are an extra thing after that. But if you can afford them, if you can get them, it will help you a little bit with your gold income. Of course, again, if you can get bonus gold skill level items, E level items, that's gonna be helping. So if you can stack those in your build, you will be getting a little bit of extra gold as well. But the most important thing are those things in here. And treasure wise, at this point, when you're running DH +4 and +5, your goal will be to run this sort of a treasure section. So you will want to have, of course, the Devil Horn with either the +4 or +5. And also you will have the gold bar, the golden heart, and the horn, so that you can get faster waves. When you are not strong enough to use the horn for some reason, then Power Claw is an option, because Devil Horn +4 and +5 are really hard to complete. And of course also just more gold income. Another gold treasure may be an option in here, but you really should work towards getting the horn in here in this case, especially for Devil Horn +4. So this is something you wanna aim for when you are running these late game gold builds. And now again, you can adjust all of these to any build you are using. You don't have to use this exact build that you see on the screen right now. This is my current build. You don't have to run this build, just use the gold boosting principles that we just went through for your setup, and you can make any build to be a gold build, as long as you have the power to actually clear those waves. And then let's move to our final part, the additional information I believe everyone should know. And our first important thing in here to know is that the time auto battle hours are based on real life time. So whenever you're using time auto battle, make sure to increase your game speed as much as possible within the game, because that means you will get more waves done for that 1 hour of time Autobattle, for example. That means that whenever you use time Autobattle, I would recommend you to always use the 3x game speed instead of the 2x game speed, because that's just so many more waves completed within that 1 hour. If you don't have the 3x game speed purchased, just spend a little bit of your time Autobattle, like every now and then, just watch the ad for the free 3x game speed for 20 minutes and run time Autobattle for that duration. And then wait until you can do it again. It's just more beneficial. You get so much more out of your time Autobattle hours that way. Also, that is the reason why you don't want to drop chrono, for example, for your build, because again, faster game speed, more waves done within that same time Autobattle hour. And also the same reason why you want to use the horn dresser is because you will get faster waves. It means you will be able to clear more waves per hour, so you get more gold per hour in that way, rather than using another gold boost dresser in that horn slot in your treasure section. Another thing to know is that the higher your wave is, the higher the base gold is that you will be getting from the monsters. And this is important when in your mid-game, when you're reaching mid-game, you start to level all of your units to level 10,000, because once they reach level 10,000, you get 1 skill point from each of them. That means a lot of heal points when you eventually level every single unit you have to level 10,000. Now, the amount of time Autobattle, for example, required to be used with your gold build to level one of those heroes to level 10,000 is going to be so much more when you do it, for example, at 200,000 waves than when you do it, for example, at 600,000 waves. So the longer you wait until you start doing that, the easier it will be for you to clear all of those. So that's why in early game I would recommend that you save your auto battle hours as much as you can until you reach something like 500,000 waves, 600,000 waves, or even a bit more if you can wait for that. But the longer you wait, the less hours you have to use to be able to clear all of those level 10,000 units. Also, I did not go through the Altar of Greed when we discussed gold builds earlier, and you can use Altar of Greed in your gold build for a small amount of extra gold. However, the way it works is that it boosts the amount of gold that you get from the monsters that are on the screen when it's cast. So it's just a very small amount of monsters that will get boosted by the Altar of Greed. And also it costs you 200 dark crystals for each cast, which means you will quite soon run out of dark crystals when you keep on using it. If you can afford to use it, then sure, you can use it when you use, for example, just 20 minutes of time out of battle. You can keep it in and get a little bit of extra gold. However, because gold builds are always weaker than free auto battle builds, because you need to sacrifice your hero slots and treasure slots for gold stuff, you probably want to use the Altar of Healing instead, so that you can have that emergency healing in case you need it for the bosses, for example, throughout your wave. And finally, in the town section you have the old tree where you can boost your gold per kill level as well with your experience points. Sure, you can also level this a little bit if you want, but this is on the same level as gold per hit and as the old coin treasure and so on. There's a really minor gold boost. It's not gonna be really doing any real difference, so you don't have to stress about it. If you want to level it a little bit, sure, you can, but all of the boosts in the tree are really small and none of them will make a real difference. So pick whichever you want and that won't really matter for you. Those are my tips. Do you feel you are able to build your own gold build now? If you have any questions or anything to add, please leave a comment down below. Let's discuss creating gold builds, because we do want some extra gold, don't we? But I believe this should give you the knowledge you need so that you can adjust your gold build based on the wave level, based on the game stage that you are currently in. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, my friends. Goodbye.